Keep listening to English every single day helps improve your understanding and speaking naturally. It trains your ears to recognize words, sounds, and phrases. Daily practice builds confidence, vocabulary, and fluency. Stay patient and consistent. The more you listen, the more confident you'll become in speaking and understanding English fluently. My funny friend who always makes me laugh until my stomach hurts. Everyone needs a friend who can bring sunshine into the darkest of days, someone who can turn tears into laughter, and who seems to carry a natural ability to make life feel lighter. For me, that person is my incredibly funny friend. She's not just humorous, she's hilariously unforgettable. Being around her is like attending a comedy show, except it's real life, and the jokes never stop. Whenever I spend time with her, I end up laughing so hard that my stomach literally hurts. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. My friend doesn't try to be funny. That's what makes her so special. She's not performing for anyone. Her sense of humor is just part of her personality. She could walk into a room, say one sentence, and suddenly the whole place is in stitches. Her timing, facial expressions, and voice tone are perfectly crafted without even trying. One moment she's imitating someone we both know, and the next she's making up some ridiculous song or dance that's so absurd and yet so entertaining. I remember one time we went to the supermarket together. Most people shop quickly and quietly, but not with her. She picked up a pineapple and started pretending it was a walkie-talkie, saying things like, "Agent Pineapple, do you copy?" She held it up to her ear like she was on a top-secret mission. Shoppers nearby couldn't help but smile. Some even laughed out loud. I was hiding behind the bread all because I couldn't stop laughing. It's in moments like these that I truly appreciate how effortlessly she makes life more colorful. One of the reasons she's so funny is her ability to tell stories. She could take the most ordinary event, like getting stuck in traffic or spilling coffee on her shirt, and turn it into a dramatic, laugh-out-loud comedy episode. She adds so many funny details, like giving each character a weird voice or exaggerating her own reaction to things. By the time she finishes telling the story, I'm wiping away tears from laughing so much. Another amazing thing is how she uses sarcasm in the most brilliant ways. Not the kind that makes people feel bad, but the kind that surprises you and makes everything sound 10 times funnier. For example, once we were walking in the heat and someone said, "It's such a beautiful day." She immediately replied with, "Oh yes, nothing like melting into the sidewalk to remind you how beautiful life is." It was such a quick, clever comeback that we all burst out laughing. She also loves giving everything a nickname. My backpack is the turtle shell because it looks round and heavy. Our friend Lucy is drama queen supreme because of her over-the-top reactions. Even her own cat is called Sir Meows-a-Lot. She once told me, "Why call things by their real name when you can make life funnier with new names?" That's exactly how she views the world. Not just as it is, but as a place full of hilarious possibilities. Sometimes she plays little pranks too, not harmful ones, just harmless tricks to make people smile. Like switching our phone wallpapers with funny selfies of her making the goofiest faces, or sneaking sticky notes with weird quotes into our notebooks. One day, I opened my laptop in the library and found a note that said, "This computer is haunted. Proceed with caution." I couldn't stop laughing, even though I was supposed to be quiet. What I love most is how her humor is full of kindness. She never jokes in a way that makes people feel bad. She doesn't use her humor to put others down. Instead, she uses it to bring people together. When someone is feeling sad, she knows just the right joke to cheer them up. She has a magical way of reading the room, knowing when to be silly and when to listen. I've noticed that she has a special effect on everyone she meets. Strangers open up to her, children are drawn to her, and even the grumpiest people crack a smile when she's around. It's not just because she's funny, it's because she brings joy and warmth. Laughter follows her wherever she goes, like a happy trail of sunshine and good vibes. There have been so many times when I've been feeling down, stressed about school, overwhelmed with problems, or just having a bad day. But one phone call with her or a short hangout session, and suddenly everything feels manageable. She'll say something completely ridiculous like, "Well, if the universe is testing you, tell it to give you easier homework next time." Or she'll send a funny meme with a caption that reads, "When life gives you lemons, throw them back and demand chocolate." Those silly things somehow have the power to lift my mood instantly. She also doesn't mind making fun of herself, which is one of the best things about her. She tells embarrassing stories about tripping in public or mixing up people's names, and instead of hiding those moments, she laughs at them. She once walked into a glass door at the mall and said, "Don't worry, just checking if the glass was clean." It passed the test. Instead of getting embarrassed, she turned it into a joke and everyone laughed, including herself. That kind of confidence and self-humor is something I really admire. Having a funny friend like her has taught me so much about joy, resilience, and not taking life too seriously. She reminds me that laughter is one of the best medicines, and that even on the hardest days, there's always something to smile about. Her friendship is like a treasure I carry with me, a daily reminder that happiness can come from the simplest moments, like laughing until your stomach hurts over a silly pineapple joke or a ridiculous made-up dance. To be honest, I feel lucky every day to have her in my life. The world can be heavy sometimes, but friends like her make the load easier to carry. She makes rainy days feel sunny and boring routines feel like wild adventures. Laughter connects people in the most beautiful way, and my funny friend is the master of creating that connection. So here's to her, my hilarious, kind-hearted, wonderfully weird friend. May she always keep making the world laugh, one silly joke at a time. And may my stomach always be strong enough to survive another round of laughter every time we hang out. Spending time with my funny friend is like stepping into a different world, a world where everything is lighter, funnier, and more alive. Her energy is contagious. Even if I'm having the most stressful day, just hearing her voice or seeing her silly grin changes everything. It's hard to explain exactly how she does it, but she turns ordinary life into a comedy show. And the best part is that it's not fake. It's just her natural way of being, genuine, spontaneous, and endlessly entertaining. One of the most unforgettable things about her is how unpredictable she is. I never know what she's going to say next. Sometimes she'll speak in accents for no reason at all. She might suddenly talk like a pirate while ordering lunch or narrate our walk down the street as if it's a nature documentary. Here we observe two majestic humans crossing the wild jungle of traffic lights in their natural habitat. Everyone around us ends up smiling, even people who are just passing by. She also has this collection of weird and funny phrases that only she uses. Instead of saying, "I'm hungry," she'll say, "My stomach is screaming like it's auditioning for a horror movie." Instead of saying, "I'm tired," she'll say, "I'm one yawn away from falling into a nap coma." She has a way of turning regular words into something new and hilarious. After spending time with her, I find myself using her funny phrases too, and even my other friends start catching on. One thing she absolutely loves is funny voices. She'll do impressions of celebrities, teachers, animals, even inanimate objects. Yes, she once made an entire conversation between a toaster and a fridge. The toaster was feeling underappreciated because everyone loves the fridge for the cold drinks, but no one thanks me for the golden brown crunch. I laughed so hard that I had to sit down. Who thinks of stuff like that? Only her. She's also an expert at facial expressions. She doesn't need to say a single word, just one raised eyebrow or wide-eyed look of fake shock, and I'm already laughing. Sometimes during class or serious situations, she'll catch my eye and make the silliest face, and I have to work really hard not to burst out laughing. It's dangerous, really, but so worth it. And let's not forget her talent for dancing. She's not a trained dancer, but she comes up with these wacky moves that are so ridiculous you can't help but laugh. Once at a party, everyone was trying to look cool on the dance floor, and then she burst in doing what she called the wiggly worm that lost its GPS. She flailed around with wild arms and confused footwork, and within minutes, the whole room was copying her moves and laughing. That's the thing about her, she doesn't care about looking silly. She just wants to have fun and make sure others are enjoying themselves too. She also has this talent for spotting the small, weird, and funny details that most people miss. If we're at a restaurant, she'll notice that the waiter has a pen that looks like a carrot and make a whole story about it. If someone walks by with a strange hat, she'll invent a backstory. That's Captain Fluffhead. He's on a mission to find the lost city of cotton candy. It doesn't matter where we are, she finds humor in everything. At sleepovers, forget about sleeping. We end up laughing for hours in the dark, whispering jokes and making up characters. One night, we created a whole story about two marshmallows that ran away from a campfire and started a band called Toasty and the S'mores. I laughed so hard I had to hide under the blanket because my cheeks hurt. She said, "Laughter is just your body's way of doing sit-ups without exercise." And that made me laugh even harder. Another thing I admire is how quick she is with comebacks. Not mean comebacks, clever ones. If someone says something silly, she always has a funny reply ready. And she's a master of playful teasing. We tease each other all the time, but never in a hurtful way. It's the kind of teasing that brings us closer and reminds us how well we know each other. But my friend is more than just funny, she's thoughtful too. Her humor often comes from a deep understanding of people. She knows what kind of jokes will make someone smile, especially when they're feeling down. Once, when I was having a rough week, she showed up at my door with a homemade emergency happiness kit. It had snacks, silly socks, a notebook filled with jokes, and a note that said, "Side effects may include excessive giggling, warm fuzzies, and the inability to be grumpy." That's the magic of her humor. It comes with love. She doesn't just want to make people laugh. She wants to make them feel better. She listens, pays attention, and uses laughter to heal. Her jokes are like little gifts she gives to the people around her. Over time, I've realized that laughter isn't just about being funny, it's about connection. The laughter we share has built a friendship so strong, so honest, and so full of joy. We've gone through serious things too, difficult moments, stressful times, and even then, her humor helps carry us through. Sometimes when we can't fix a situation, we find comfort in laughing about it together. She's taught me that it's okay to laugh at yourself, to be silly, to play. That life doesn't always have to be so serious. Even when things are hard, you can still find something to smile about. She reminds me to lighten up, breathe, and enjoy the little ridiculous moments that make life fun. We often joke that when we're old ladies, we'll be the loudest ones in the retirement home, cracking jokes and dancing around with walkers. And honestly, I believe it. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that her laughter will never fade. It's part of who she is. In a world that often feels heavy and complicated, my funny friend is a breath of fresh air. She brings light to the people around her without even trying. Whether she's pretending to talk to fruit, inventing characters out of snacks, or just being her silly self, she makes life more joyful. So, to my wonderful, hilarious, unforgettable friend, thank you for every laugh, every silly story, every moment of joy. Thank you for making my stomach hurt from laughing, for turning boring days into adventures, and for teaching me that laughter really is the best part of life. I can't imagine my world without your jokes, your wild ideas, and your goofy grin. You are a gift that keeps on giving, and I'll always be grateful for you. As time goes on, the more I realize just how rare and precious it is to have a friend like her, someone who brings so much joy into my life simply by being herself. The way she can light up a room with laughter is almost magical. Whether we're on a crowded bus, sitting in a cafe, or just lying around doing nothing, she finds a way to make the moment sparkle with silliness. Her presence is like a happy melody playing in the background of every memory we share. What sets her apart from others is not just that she's funny, it's the way her humor makes people feel included, accepted, and appreciated. She's never sarcastic in a cruel way or mean-spirited. Instead, her jokes are clever, creative, and full of life. People love being around her because they know they'll walk away smiling. Her laughter is bold and unfiltered, and it invites others to let go of their worries and just be real. That's what I love the most. She allows me to be myself. No pretending necessary. Sometimes we joke that she should be on stage, doing stand-up comedy. But when we talk seriously about it, she always shrugs and says, "Nah, I just like making my friends laugh." That's enough for me. It's clear that she doesn't chase attention or applause. Her humor comes from a genuine desire to connect and uplift. That's what makes her so lovable. One of my favorite memories is the time we tried to bake cookies together. Neither of us is very good at baking, but we figured it couldn't be too hard. Well, we ended up forgetting the sugar, dropping half the dough on the floor, and somehow creating cookies that looked like tiny flying saucers. Instead of getting frustrated, she laughed and said, "Congratulations. We've invented space food for aliens." We took pictures, made alien noises, and declared the whole disaster a success. It was one of the best afternoons of my life. She also has this fearless way of laughing at herself. If she trips, spills something, or says something ridiculous, she owns it with pride. She doesn't get embarrassed. She turns the moment into a show. Once she accidentally waved at a stranger thinking it was me. When she realized her mistake, she turned around, struck a dramatic pose, and said loudly, "Well, now I've made a new friend." The stranger actually laughed and waved back. Her confidence turns awkward moments into comedy gold. We also have laughter challenges where we try to make each other laugh without touching or talking. We can only use facial expressions or silent movements. Every single time, she wins. She has this way of making her eyes bulge or puffing out her cheeks until I'm doubled over, gasping for breath. And even when I try to hold it in, I always lose. Her funny face wins every time. But beneath all the laughter, I've come to appreciate how much her humor is tied to her strength. She's been through tough times in life, like everyone else. But instead of letting those things make her bitter, she turns pain into light. She's told me before, sometimes the only thing you can do is laugh. If you don't laugh, you cry. So I choose to laugh loudly. That attitude has helped me so much. It's taught me to look for joy even in hard places. In fact, she's the reason I started to laugh at myself more. I used to take everything too seriously, worried about what people thought of me or trying to be perfect. But her presence helped me let go. Now, when I make mistakes, I laugh with her instead of beating myself up. That's a gift no one else has given me. She's not just a funny friend, she's a healing friend. A light. A burst of joy in the middle of an ordinary day. She reminds me that life is meant to be enjoyed, not just endured. That even on days when nothing seems to go right, you can still laugh until your stomach hurts and forget the stress for a while. Her laughter echoes in my mind even when we're apart. Sometimes I'll be alone, thinking about something silly she said, and I'll start laughing all over again. It's like her voice stays with me, making life brighter even when she's not there. That's the beauty of friendship mixed with laughter. It never really leaves you. To say I'm grateful for her doesn't even begin to cover it. She's the kind of friend who makes memories unforgettable, who fills the room with warmth and wild laughter, who changes the way you see the world. With her by my side, I've learned that laughter isn't just fun, it's freedom. It's courage. It's connection. It's life. So if you ever meet someone who makes you laugh until your stomach hurts, someone who sees the funny side of everything and makes even disasters feel like adventures, hold on to them. Laugh with them. Make memories. Because funny friends like her, they don't just make life better. They make life beautiful.